Hey, good evening to you guys. I know that YouTube, Facebook is going to do its thing, letting you guys know that we're here, but we are here with the Black Business Development Mastermind. Oh, wrong way. Black Business Development Mastermind, and we're going to have an awesome show tonight. We've got actually six right now, working on seven. Black business owners who are going to be share with you guys some things that have helped them, to develop, and hopefully to help you to develop as well. We'll have candid conversations, allow you to ask questions if you need. And this is all about helping a small business scale to big business. And what I found is that it's important for us to get around the right people to have the right conversations so we can gain the wisdom or the knowledge, turn it into wisdom, and then we can apply it into our life, into our business. I also say that one of the big keys is personal development before we get to business development. So when you're working on yourself, to become a better you, become a better manager, become a better leader, become a better salesperson, become a better marketer, whatever your position is, it all starts with you getting better. If you want things to get better, you want profit to get increased, you want sales to increase, you want your business to be better, you got to get better. Everybody put in console, I got to get better. Hey, I'm not going to take a whole bunch of time, man. We got to get started with the show, man, because we got a lot to share and a lot to say here tonight on the Business Development Mastermind, brought to you by the New Black Wall Street. You guys know what time it is, man. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The New Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, build life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the New Black Wall Street. It's on the New Black Wall Street. Here's the host.
All right, my beautiful people, man. Thanks so much for joining us here on the New Black Wall Street tonight here at our Black Business Development Mastermind, where I'll be introducing to you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Black business owners. We can get one more in as well, so we'll open it up for our people to be able to join as well. I will ask that you'll go ahead and hit that like button, that share button if you care about Black business. There are going to be some people connected to you that just been looking for something like this so it can help them to scale, to help them to change the way they think so they can change the results they're getting. I can tell you guys, we have all that are here today, we've made plenty of mistakes, but we had great success. And for every no, we've had plenty of yeses as well. And so we want to be able to help you guys tonight, have a candid conversation, answer questions that you might have about what's going on in your business as well. And we're actually going to be talking a little bit about your network tonight as well. Your network tonight is going to be one of the main topics of conversation. Tonight's episode is sponsored by the Black Billionaires Club. Yes, that's a book that I wrote, but it's a club that I run as well. And that's where we have really intimate conversations to really help individual and group coaching as well. There we have business development, personal development, financial education, and then also investment education. We want you to help you be the best version of you that you can be. We want to help you to start the business or scale that business that you have. We want to teach you about money, right? And we want to teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you work for it. These are things that we must learn if we want to leave wealth or an inheritance to our children's children. I believe those are 4 key things that we must learn as we talk about what my brother said, which is true wealth. And he'll share that with you here today. Let me go ahead and introduce our panel here tonight. We just had one walk away, but let me go and bring them into the fold here tonight on the Black Business Development Mastermind. We do have with us Mr. Damon Tolton here today. What's going on with you, King? Thanks so much.
I'm doing all right.
Thanks so much for joining. We do have Miss Jacqueline Golden as well. Good evening, Queen.
Good evening.
All right, thanks so much for joining. Now, in case guys, hey, it's her birthday, and she showed up, man. So everybody say happy birthday, Miss Jacqueline.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man. We got the empowerment duo, Brian, Keith McNeil, and Miss.
What's up?
And then we also have Isoke.
Hi, good evening.
Hey, how you doing? So let's start with you, Mrs. Isoke. If you could just tell the people in brief 30 to 60 seconds who you are, what you're doing, why you do what you do.
So my name is Isoke Lukeman. I am the owner of Gardens for Life. We are a residential.
I can't hear her.
Oh, I can hear her. Go ahead.
You can.
So Gardens for Life is a residential and community garden installation service. So we specialize in building customizable as well as standardized garden boxes in Atlanta, Georgia. The reason why I started this is because growing up, I was always introduced to fresh local food. And the older I got, I realized that people in my own community did not have the same access. And so my business offers this service as a way to alleviate and to educate people about growing their own food.
Okay, fantastic. And what's the website for Gardens for Life?
That is wegarden4life.com.
We garden for life.com. Fantastic, man. So garden installation company. Now you have another company as well, if I remember, because I tasted some stuff
Yes,
that
yes.
you made when I met you at a little vending event, and I was like, this is some good tea.
Yes, so I also have a business called Garden Variety. And so that is essentially, it started off as a tea business, but now I feel like it's starting to become like a wellness brand in general, as I started selling like sea moss and chlorophyll and other wellness products like that. But it's really to bring like that health and wellness lifestyle closer and make it more accessible to people who might not be easily around things like this.
Okay, fantastic, man. Isoke. I'm gonna get that right. I'm gonna eat.
You got it right that time.
Fantastic, man. Well, thanks so much for being here, guys. As you see, we have we got people from different industries, different ages. I don't know how old you are, but you look like you're probably in that mid 20 to 30 range. Not quite sure. Might be a little older, but you just look, you just carry it well. Thanks so much for joining. Miss Jacqueline Makins Golden, man. If you could, same thing real quick, just share to people who you are, what you're doing, why you do what you do.
I am Jacqueline Golden. I own the Premier Education Online. We are the premier educators for continuing education for licensed professionals in the hair and beauty industry. We are the #1 continuing education business in the state of South Carolina. No one can do it like we do it. We're also in North Carolina, Georgia as well as coming up, hopefully, Texas. So we enjoy what we actually do. We just spread the wonderful news about education, what's going on in the hair and beauty industries, what are the trends, keeping licensed professionals in the know, as well as we have 2 certifying classes that we have with those boards in the state of South Carolina. One is educators. So those educators who want to teach in a career center, teach in the private sector at a community college, they must come through someone like me. And I am the top methods of teaching educator in the state of South Carolina. People come from the lower part of South Carolina just to take my classes. And that's because I know education. And also, too, we do the certifying for braiders in the state of South Carolina as well. Not only are we just educators, but we're the first Black-owned continuing educator provider in the upstate of South Carolina. We're the first to offer online classes in the state of South Carolina for licensed professionals. So I happen to think that, you know what, it's been over 10 years, so we must be doing something right. We love what we do. And since we love it, it's not work for us. You know what? It's play. So that's what I like to tell folks. So it's a wonderful experience, and I absolutely love it.
Absolutely, premier online education, and you said that we love education. I would say that you breathe education because
I breathe, I live, I sleep education and entrepreneurship. Okay, I tell you, you cut me, I'm gonna believe entrepreneurship and education.
Absolutely, man. It is a website for your premier online education.
Oh yes, it is.
Oh, looks like look at Wakita. She went and got it already. That's the BBC right now.
That's my girl right there. Thank you, Wakita.
Thank you so much, Wakita. And it's okay. We have you as well. We Garden for Life. Is that correct? All right, fantastic, man. If you're part of BBC, man, go and put in comments on hashtag BBC. We know we got to represent for our club. This is what we do, man. Mr. Damon Tolden, a brother that I met online, and he actually is the maker of this sign behind me. So we do have a brother that does signs and things like that, man. Mr. Damon Tolden, if you could very briefly let the people know who you are, what you're doing, why you do what you do.
My name is Damon Tolden, and I'm a graphic designer and sign maker. Been in the business about 25 years. And initially, I decided to not just do this for employers. Actually, I did it to supplement my income, and in time, I just went full time with it, and developed networks and vendors that I knew just from working, and promoted my own business. And over the years, I've helped out many of them, coast to coast. I have clients in Atlanta and as far away as California. And I have done some very big projects here locally as well as on the West Coast. And I have two websites, yoursignmaker.com and allsignsmade.com. And I even have more services that I provide to businesses to help promote their companies. Just drop me an email or phone call and I can help you out.
Man, that's fantastic. 25 years in the game. And it's very interesting. Again, I met this brother online. His name on Instagram at the time was Damon Your Sign Maker. Golden. And I was like, I need a sign. I was like, I got to have something behind me. I was like, I guess I'm going to reach out. Now, this is important to marketing because I wouldn't have known that he did sign maker if he didn't put Damon Your Sign Maker Told it as his Instagram tag. That's what's so very special. So we've been connected. But I wouldn't have known that he did sign had he not done that. I reached out to him, worked out a deal, and you see the beautiful sign that's behind me. That is by way of Damon Tolden. So if you guys need signage of any type, Damon, now can you go through a little bit about all the different types of signs you do? Because I don't want people to get it twisted that all you do is do a step of repeats. You do a whole bunch. So if you could share extensive experience.
I do everything from step and repeat business cards all the way up to what they call pylon signs that you see at the grocery stores in the parking lot. I do digital display signs that you see in downtown that go up on the side of buildings all the way up.
Fantastic, man. So you guys now
from the yard signs on up.
You now can say that you are connected. You have access to a brother who does signs, okay? So if you need any of that stuff, man, reach out to Damon Tolden. Again, Wakita, if you can capture those websites for us. Again, what are those two websites, Mr. Tolden?
yoursignmaker.com and allsignsmade.com.
yoursignmaker.com and allsignsmade.com. Now it looks like we lost the empowerment duo. They may be trying to get reconnected. I do have 2 spots available for anyone that may want to join us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this thing and put this thing into okay, they're coming back. I got 1 spot left. Put it in for you guys. Anybody that might want to join us in our conversation tonight. Main thing we'll be talking about is your network. Okay, so let me bring the empowerment duo back in here. This is going to be the couple here, the Brian and Lisa. Looks like he done took off the shirt and the tie. He ready to rock and roll. What's going on, people?
Hey, Evan. Thanks for having us on, and thanks for waiting us to get through the technical difficulties.
We will never leave you, man.
Never leave you. We actually have a power outage in our area, so we had to get a mobile hotspot and get reconnected.
Hey, y'all ain't playing. Y'all said we're going to get on no matter what. I like it. Everybody put it on so no matter what. That's determined people.
No matter what.
So we are just a quick introduction to you guys. So just real briefly, share with our audience who you are, what you do, why you do what you do.
Absolutely. Well, I am Lisa Santiago McNeil, and I am the better half of the empowerment duo. I help people to tell their story, live their life, and have a voice. I am the publisher and the producer of our morning show. Let's talk about it with the empowerment duo.
And I am Brian K. McNeil, and you know how there are so many people with phenomenal services to offer the world, and a lot of them don't earn nearly the money that they could or should. A lot of times because they don't understand how to sell it. What I do is I help them to sell themselves and their services better than they ever have before so they can earn more money than ever before. I'm really, really excited to be part of the empowerment duo. I'll let Lisa be the better half of it. But we do host a show daily, and we're happy that you've been on the show. And I'm excited about tonight's topic as well. I will say this too. Your network is way more important than a lot of people give it credit for.
Absolutely.
Because if you find yourself consistently the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong rooms.
You need to get another room
where you're not consistently the smartest person. And it always goes like that. You have to keep on seeking out audiences and opportunities where you're not the smartest kid in the room.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. The Empowerment Duo always showing up and showing out, man, every time they come into the building. And congratulations, Brian McNeil. I just saw you are going to be on center stage with a very prominent person. Also, Lisa, I see Chris Hurd or something like that. Yeah, I got my 4 eyes. Okay, best believe it. Absolutely, man.
You have been blessed. Yes, sir. We got a great rest of the year booked out.
Absolutely, man. Well, thanks so much. BBC's representing Jacqueline Megan's Gold, Mr. Mark Anthony, Miss Melanie Peters, Empowerment Duo, Miss Jennifer Almond or Selena Spooney, Miss Vivian Reed is in the house as well. Wakita, BBC.
What's up, Vivian? What's up, Monica?
Bill, BBC. Thanks so much. And Damon asked, okay, you did get them, Wakita, yoursignmaker.com. At least we got one of them in there. All right, fantastic, man. So if you're not part of BBC, you might be missing something. So consider joining. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Again, guys, if you like and share if you care about Black business, like and share if you care about Black business. What I love about this platform is obviously the content is great, but just like a book, it's all about the cover. And look what you see right now. You got 3 sisters, 3 brothers, and we're going to be talking about business. We're going to be talking about money. We're going to be talking about leveling.
Money is the key to end all your woes.
So the Black Business Development Mastermind. So let's first start with our first question I have for the panel. Again, as we're talking about development, I want you to think about the area where you specialize in that you could actually really help another business to level up, right? So I already know Brian McNeil sales and money, right? I think Damon's probably marketing, but we'll let you talk about that particular area and why that area is so important for business. Why that area is so important for business. So we're going to start with the obvious. We'll start with Damon. Up in the top left, because I think marketing is your thing, but we'll start with you, brother.
Yeah, the thing with the business that feeds it is people. And if people don't know you're in business, we have a saying, a business with no sign is a sign of no business. So you need to let people know what you do and how they can contact you. No business can survive no clients. Bottom line.
Absolutely. So no sign, a business with no sign is a sign of no business. I'm gonna write that down, okay? A business with no sign is a sign of business, man. You got to make sure that people see you and that you're visible. So, Mr. Tone, so we're talking about that as in your business, or the businesses that you run, whatever that is, how many ever that is. Tell us about some of the signs that you have for your own business. Your marketing signs or whatever it is that you do. Because obviously, as I said, one of the signs that I mentioned for you is that your name was your sign maker.
Yes, I put that on my social media. My tags was Damon Your Sign Maker Tolden. I even have it in my emails. So when you log on to my Facebook page or Twitter or whatever, you know right away what it is that I do. And you can ask questions. So you have to put yourself out there. Otherwise, people are not going to know.
Any other signs that you have? Do you have any other marketing signs that you might have that you utilize for your business?
I have signs that I have on my car, as well as I pay for digital advertising on digital billboards in downtown Atlanta.
Oh, high traffic.
Look at yeah, absolutely.
Okay, y'all get some ideas out there. I mean, he gonna drop them all down for you, but y'all better pick up every little bit that you can, man. Damon the sign maker told, and then obviously congratulations to your new venture, which is real estate, I believe, now to investing in real estate. So just expanding that you do. We'll move to the next most obvious, I think, would be what Mr. Brian K. McNeil. What area is it? I think it's sales, but I don't want to speak for you. And why is that area so important for business?
I think the 2 most important skills that every person need to master to live their lives successfully is the ability to communicate and the ability to sell. The ability to sell. And I look at the ability to sell the way the word was originated. The origination of the word comes from a Greek word, selling ye, which literally means to help. To help. And if you look at Proverbs 11:26, it says, the people curse the one that withholds the grain. They heap blessings upon the one that's willing to sell it. If you have a skill, a gift, or talent, if you have a way to help the world be better in any area, you're supposed to sell it. And the Bible says you're supposed to sell it and make profit from it. If you have a skill or a talent and you're not willing to make money off of it, if you hide it in the ground, you get banished into the outer courts where there's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So you must learn to sell. My wife is a classic example. She's been impacting lives forever. She was greatly impacting lives even when we met, but she wasn't making money. She was impacting lives, but personally, she wasn't making money. When I came on the scene and I helped her to learn how to sell her gifts, skills, and talents, she took that lesson, she took those lessons, and now she's a money-making machine. She could print money. She's a beast at it, okay? Because she learned this other skill. She absolutely is a beast. Lisa can print money every day, okay? So she's learned how, she's embraced the skill of selling, helping someone with your gift, skill, and talent. And that's what I do. I think God has uniquely qualified me and taught me how to help others to sell themselves. You know, if you're awesome at what you're doing and you're not making the money, it's because you don't yet know how to sell it. And you owe it to the world to learn how to sell it. Last thing I will say, there's this thing called the sin of the desert. The sin of the desert is when you know where the water is, but you're not willing to tell anyone else. If you have a solution to offer the world and you don't offer it to them and sell it to them, you're keeping it to yourself. You're keeping the solutions to yourself. And the excuse you give for not selling doesn't matter. Well, they may not listen to me. I don't feel like it, or they might reject me. They might not respect me. Blah, 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 blah. You're committing the sin if you don't sell your good thing.
Man, absolutely. And one of the key things I heard from Mr. McNeil is that, as you was talking about, Lisa, that she had to embrace it, right? So she rejected the lesson. Although the teacher is teaching, she could reject the lesson and say, I'm good. That's what we hear a lot of times now. But she embraced it, and she became a beast, a money-making machine. So, Miss Lisa, you know, the diva, just the phenomenal one. What is your area that you can help your other businesses the most, and why is that area so important for business?
So for me, the publishing piece is really about helping to raise credibility, helping people who are venturing to be an expert in an area, particularly a new area for them, one that they're transitioning into, to raise their credibility and stand out in a crowd. You know how there are so many people who have learned something over their lives, they know how to do something and they want to help other people with it, but they don't have the credentials, they don't have the necessary certifications maybe to be able to present themselves as the professional. What I do is I help them to package and systemize their knowledge in such a way that they can create a book, present it to the world, and help them navigate through what they've learned while earning more and raising their credibility.
The business around it.
Absolutely.
Raising their credibility. So we have, someone that can help you with your book, help you to learn how to speak about your book, learn you how to sell your gifts, learn how to market what it is you do. It's okay. Now I gotta say something about this queen, because we were able to meet at a indie market event. She was I went over there, got me some variety or garden variety or something like that, and we were connected on Instagram and. Talked to her the other week. She was sick earlier this week, but I think she's feeling better now because she's on that good stuff, those good nutrients. And I've just been seeing her just put her stuff out here. I've been seeing her traveling. I've been watching you, just so you know. I'm like, okay, this is, I want everybody to understand this ambition, right? The thing, ambition, you can see it. And the thing about it is that when you see it and you see someone engaging in it, you can see the trajectory. You can see where they're going. You'll see where their destination is. And so I just see a empire coming through this woman, and I just want to be along for the ride, man. So it's so good. What's your area that you would say, man, you could help other businesses to develop it, and why is that area so important?
Well, thank you for that introduction. So right now, my business, we've been in business for about a couple years now, and we are actually moving towards doing like nonprofit and corporate gardens as a way to help people's businesses. I feel like having green spaces helps to reduce stress amongst employees. The recent nonprofit garden that I built is actually on the west side of Atlanta. And we did a whole planting demonstration with the employees of the nonprofit. And everybody was just so enthusiastic, excited, really exuberant about touching soil, about being able to connect with some of their other employees, having this sense of pride and ownership of some of the food that they grow. And I know that on the larger scale, corporate gardens can make enough produce to even feed surrounding communities. I've seen things like this happening in some of our neighboring cities. And so Gardens for Life, specifically the garden installation service that I have, wants to move closer to doing that. I feel like, you know, as a business owner, eventually we don't want to work in our business forever, right? Eventually you want to move to where the business is working without you always being there. And so the heartbeat of that is your employees. And so making sure that your employees are fresh, that they feel healthy, that they feel happy. Green spaces, gardens, plants in general are ways to boost productivity, to make sure that your employees are happier, that they have something that they can actually take care of. A lot of studies have showed that this increases revenue in a lot of businesses. And Garden Variety is really just an offshoot of Gardens for Life, a brand that actually sells tangible wellness products for people to incorporate in their day-to-day lives. I'm all about health and wellness. And so I feel like with work and with business and with entrepreneurship, a lot of the times we put our health, mental and physical and emotional on pause. Sometimes when we're really like building our businesses up. And I have found that my business thrives, all that ambition that you were talking about comes because I really invest in my self-care. And so Gardens for Life and Garden Variety is really sort of like a return to the natural way, if you will.
Absolutely, man. Everybody putting the console, invest in myself. So your key of investing in yourself is not just investing in your business, not just from a monetary standpoint, but investing in yourself, in your health, so that you actually have the energy, right, to go out here. I mean, as I said, you were, from what I saw on Instagram, you were kind of down, but I guess you kind of got right back up with the
I actually had plantar fasciitis in my foot. If anybody knows what that is, it's extremely painful. It's basically like a tendon in the bottom of your foot is like inflamed. And it happens from just overworking, but also like not wearing the proper footwear. And so it was really like a wake up call. Like, if you aren't able to do your work, like things won't move forward right now at the level that my business is at. And so, I'm thinking about internally, I'm good, but also like taking care of my feet. I mean, it's such a simple thing, but for me, like my feet are everything right now. So, got to take care of yourself.
Got to take care of yourself, man. Got to take care of yourself. Thanks so much. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. All right, fantastic. Miss the birthday girl, Miss Jacqueline Mankins Golden up in the house. She breathes everything entrepreneurship and education. What area would you say is your biggest area to help others to develop in business, and why is that area so important? You're on mute.
How did I?
Okay, there you go.
Okay, there you go. Okay, well, I think the two of you really touched on it when you talk about investing in yourself. And we have to invest in ourselves because you can't go no further than what you actually know. There's no growth in that. Because once you actually know something, you're doing something, then you have built almost, a level of expertise in it. So you got to be willing to invest in yourself. You got to be willing to take the next step. And so, that's what I always like to say to licensed professionals: don't stay where you are. I remember when I came back in on the hair and beauty industry on the education end. And so, coming back in on that end was, I challenged the professionals and I said, hey, in the next 10 years, you got to begin to diversify. You got to do something different because the hair and beauty industry was changing. And one of those biggest changes that was taking place is hair loss, and that right there was huge and mega in itself. And we didn't have any hair loss specialists, trichologists. That's what they're actually called in this particular area. And so if you're doing the same thing, then you can't grow. Your business is not going to grow. You got to be willing to venture out. And I learned that by watching my sister, who was in the healthcare field. And one thing about what she did, even when her coworkers would taunt her about, man, you don't stay long in no department or anything. Well, she had a plan. Her plan was not to be staying long in departments, but her plan was to move around. And that's exactly what she did. She moved around in the hospital system. And today she commands her own salary. She went back to school, earned her BSN degree, and doing super great. And so, when she gets ready to change companies, she's always negotiating her salary. If you have not grown, how can you negotiate your salary? How can you even ask your customers for an increase when you're doing the exact same thing? They don't see you going to any educational classes. And that's one thing about being in the hair and beauty industry. Professionals forget that you need to go and do educational classes. And when you're going to do educational class, you need to do it with a purpose in mind, not do it just so that you can get the CE hours, but do it so that you can advance your skill. And so now what you see is a huge wave of hair loss across the board, men and women. And those who went on to get that additional education to become a trichologist, they are now have increased their salaries. And not only have they increased their salaries, there are insurance companies that actually pay them to see different types of clients. And so it even reminds me when I'm in higher education. And I can remember being in higher education, and actually in higher education, I took a job that nobody else wanted. And in taking that job, I asked my supervisor, I said, hey, you need to at least give me training at least 9 months. Allow me to train in this particular area, because I didn't want to just do a job. I wanted to be the best at doing that job. And I think sometimes that's what we forget. So it's all about making an investment in yourself. And if you're not going to invest in yourself, why would someone else want to invest in you? I'm always investing in myself. You have to become a lifelong learner. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm always sitting in someone's class, whether it's mandatory that I get another certification, and I'm in someone's class getting another certification right now, because I look at those certifications are nothing but a platform for me to continue to build on. And not only that, if it gives me the opportunity to command the salary too, or the price that when someone wants to consult with me, okay, I do not back down on my consulting price. Okay, I have the letters behind my name, but not only do I have the letters behind my name, I have the experience. And it was the experience in higher education that set me on this platform that I'm currently on with Premier Online Education. Why? Because I learned how to read some documents. Evan, just like you, Coca-Cola, you learned how to analyze, right? That's why you're so good at investing. Well, I learned how to read state and federal and local regulations. That's why I'm where I am with Premier, because I learned how to read those state, local, and federal regulations. And so I was able to set myself up to be a continuing education provider in the state of South Carolina, North Carolina, barking on Georgia, and Texas. So, you got to invest in yourself. So I'm always investing. I don't wait for someone else to invest in me. I pay the money and I invest in myself. And I'm in a school district, and hey, let's just face it. They send me for training, but then there's also training that I send myself for because I want to be good at what I do. When I stand up and I talk, I want people to know that I know what I'm talking about. And people know that I know what I'm talking about because they call. Professionals call. Just received a call yesterday, a text message wanting to know about reciprocity from state to state. They call me for that because they know I have the answer for it. So invest in yourself. You all don't be afraid to invest in yourself. I know what that's like. Pay that money. Invest in yourself. Premier didn't start overnight. Premier started in 2000, actually in 2011. I learned how to work a system in 2011. I made that investment. I didn't have the money. Okay. I'm going to be honest and transparent. I didn't have the money, but I knew the state of South Carolina was going to go to online sooner or later. And I wanted to position myself to be ready to go when they made the offer. So I learned the system for a year. And when it came around, I must admit, I missed it. And I missed it because I did not read the minutes. You got to learn how to read the minutes so that you can know. Okay? It's about being in the know. Read the minutes. And so I did. I missed it, but I was back in on the next go around. The first African American company to offer online in the state of South Carolina. So make the investment. I did not have that money. I had just going through a divorce, 3 children still in tow, a son getting ready to go off to college. But and there was times, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have the money, but I called the company and I said, "Hey, I don't have the money this month. Can you work with me?" They work with me, and it has paid off. And it will pay off for you. Don't be afraid. Invest in you. Believe in you. You want other people to believe in you. You got to believe in yourself first.
Absolutely, man. Birthday girl, man. Birthday girl, giving it to you, man. Giving y'all some birthday surprise. And the comments below, man, for the audience that's here with us, man. What's one thing that you just took away from everything Miss Makers just shared with you? She gave a whole bunch of nuggets, man. I tell you, a couple of things stood out to me. What you said. How many of you may be staying in a department too long? You're staying in the same space too long, but you're expecting to get more than you got last year. How many guys may be trying to negotiate without any leverage? You're trying to negotiate without any leverage. I know Mr. Brian McNeil can talk about this. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I wanted to say what I got out of Miss Jacqueline's commentary. The value of investing in yourself. You really can't get away from it. And it's a prerequisite. There's this thing called freeple and cheaple. Freeple are the people who only take the training that's free. Cheaple are the people who only take the training that's cheap. But freeple and cheaple, they have basically taught themselves and framed their whole lives to only make free stuff or cheap stuff. Unless you're willing to invest in yourself, you can't even ask the universe for more money. It's a prerequisite. You have to do it. You can't get away from it. You can run from it. You could try different ways. It don't work. Invest the pennies of your purse into your mind, and you fill that purse with gold. That was quoted by Ben Franklin 100 years ago.
Repeat that again.
Huh?
And repeat the Ben Franklin again.
If you invest the pennies of your purse into your mind, you will fill that purse with gold.
Absolutely, man. We got another quote. I forget. This is unknown to me, but it simply says this: that empty your wallet to fill your mind, and then you can empty your mind to fill your wallet. Empty your
another
to fill your mind. You can empty your mind to fill your wallet. Go ahead, brother.
It's a quick poem 100 years ago. But I bargained with life for a penny,
And penny will
and
pay.
life would pay no more. However, I begged that evening when I counted my scanty store. For life is a just employer. He'll give you what you ask. But once you set the wages, you must bear the task. I worked for a menial's hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I had asked of life, life would have willingly paid.
Wow.
Hey, bargain with life for a penny, man. That's one of the poems. Oh, I'm sorry. Let get. That's actually one of the poems that my father made sure that I knew.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of those poems. That one and If by Rudyard Kipling. Those are two poems that my father made sure I knew, even if the
Wow.
didn't make sure I knew.
That's awesome.
Growing up as well. Absolutely, man. So we're talking about investing in yourself, guys. And one of the things that as we transition to the next part of our conversation, we're talking about investing in is actually your network. And so there's a familiar phrase that says that your network is your net worth. And first, I want to frame this by talking about net worth. So people that may not know this or may not understand, I'm a financial educator and I teach all things money. But net worth is basically saying that the things that you own, which we will call assets, are greater than the things that you owe, which we would call liabilities. So assets are greater than liabilities. So we talk about net worth right now. For those that are here, just think about: do I own more than I owe? Very simple question. Do I own more? Do I own more than I owe? Now, I know that you're getting into real estate investing. I know quite a few that are here. I teach investing, so hopefully you've gotten that concept. But there may be some people who've never been experienced this. Do you own more than you owe? And so we talk about this concept or this phrase that your network is your net worth. Then are the people that you're associating yourself with? This is my interpretation of it. I'm gonna get you guys' interpretation of it as well. Are the people that you're associating with draining your pockets? Are they liabilities? Meaning that you have people in your life that are taking away more than they're giving, or are the people that you associate with, are they assets? They're adding value to your enterprise and they're giving more than they take. And then that becomes your net worth. And that's very interesting. I continue to see people who want more out of life, but they hang out with the bottom of the crowd. It's very sad. So, you ever seen some people, they want this, they want that, and you turn around and be like, why are you hanging out over there? You ever said that to somebody, maybe a child or something? Why are you out with that crowd? You're like, what's going on? Now, I can see it if you were the person that's influencing that crowd. But it's another thing to be hanging out with that crowd. Totally separate things, in my opinion. We'll come to you, Damon, man. Your network is your net worth. What does that mean to you?
Basically, is who you know that have a skill set or a service that they can provide that you can connect with and either learn from them or trade skills and trade with. It's building and it's communicating. And to piggyback on what you said earlier, there's this saying that I heard many years ago that says, "You're only as good as the company you keep." If your company is not trying to improve themselves, then you probably need new company.
You're only as good as the company you keep. Man, this is a man of few words, I tell you, man. David told me, get right to the point. He reminded me so much of my father. Get right to it. Hey, boom, there you go. Now come down to you, Queen. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. You're having way too much fun.
As you have probably heard the term that your network is your net worth. What does that mean to you?
I actually have been learning this lesson real hard for the last couple of years. When I decided to go into business for myself, a couple of relationships started to have dissipate, fall apart. And I really had to look at where these people were in their lives and look at where I was in my life and where I wanted to be. And ultimately, you know, you, like you were saying, like if you look around the room and you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. And so nowadays I really try to put myself into spaces, you know, like this, and like other business development spaces where I'm learning things every day that I didn't know about yesterday, because those are the people who are gonna push you up, and you might be offering something to them that is also benefiting them in a different way as well. And I've learned just from looking at different relationships in my life that people can bring you down if you really let them. And it's a hard lesson to learn when it's time to cut people off. It's really not as easy as people make it, especially the first couple times you got to do it. But you know, I'm 26, so it's sort of a shift in my life right now where that lesson is becoming more apparent, and it's not as hard for me to know when it's time to move on. I myself like to surround myself with other entrepreneurs, people who are more established in entrepreneurship, people who know more about finance, marketing, um, uh, law, business law, people who are where I want to be, because those are the people who can pass on the gems and the knowledge. I'm not new to being around people who are a little more mature and advanced. I'm the youngest in my family, the youngest of 3 kids. One of my brothers is 6 years older than me. My other brother is 13 years older than me. My parents are in their 60s. So I've always been used to being around people who have just lived and have been able to bestow knowledge onto me. I also am a nerd. I like to learn. And so just making sure that you're always being fed knowledge. But I think the flip side is applying that knowledge. It's one thing to have a lot of knowledge at your disposal, but to not put it into practice and into use, I think is a waste. And so it's not just about being around the right people, but it's also about applying the knowledge that these people are giving to you.
Man, absolutely, man, absolutely. So let's ask this follow-up question to you. You mentioned that as you are going through this process or maturing in this process, you said things are beginning to change. Would you also say that it's the shift of the mind for you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Like there are a lot of things that I don't look at the same way. You know, I always tell people like what was considered like a amount of money or what is considered a value when I was like, you know, 20, 21 is vastly different nowadays. I also find that things that were fun when I was, you know, a few years ago are no longer fun to me. Like now, having like a work date with one of my friends where she's working on her business, I'm working on mine, you know, we're just sharing company with each other is seemed as, for me, is fun. And so I think, you know, it takes a shift, a paradigm shift for people as they're developing, as they're growing, and you have to be open to that. And if you're not surrounding yourself around people who are also shifting and transforming themselves, you will feel held back.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's a great question for everybody. You know, as we talk about what was fun then and what's fun now, I tell you what, fun to me is making money. I mean, I get out there, I have fun making money. I'll be out there a little bit, and I'll be like, okay, you know, even more so to just make money, I would say putting myself in position for the opportunity to make money is fun to me. So that's the way I was able to meet you, and there's some other people that are in my network now because we were both out putting ourselves in position to get the opportunity to make money. and then we connected because that was something we had in common. It's very interesting that many of us, what we have in common with people is spending money. And I'll be looking for people the opposite. Who can I find that want to make some money? And obviously, before we make some money, I mean that who can I find that actually wants to go to work? That's what it comes down to for me. Who's willing to work, and can we make some money together? Now I got some new wealth friends. I got money friends. Money friends. I'm telling you. All right. The Empowerment Duo. You're up next, guys. Your network is a net worth. I know Mr. McNeil said a few things about it. But then obviously also, what are some things that have changed for you guys as far as fun is concerned?
Well, for as fun, Lisa and I have on purpose taken a lot more trips this year. Beach, city, New York, all that kind of stuff. We take a lot more trips. But I do want to speak some more about the central theme of tonight, about networking. It's worth it to do whatever you got to do to get into the right circles. For example, I'm not going to say the person's name, but there was a prominent person in business that was doing a lot of the things that I wanted to do, that I wanted a connection with. And I reached out to this person and no response. I reached out more than one time and no response. I even found another friend of mine who knew the guy and said, hey, look, I want an association with this dude. And my friend gave me some very good advice. He said, look, when you want to play at his level, you're going to have to like pay for some of their stuff. You're going to have to put some of your money. You got to put some skin in the game. If you want to play at that level, you got to have some skin in the game. So I decided to put some skin in the game. And Evan, it was amazing that the moment I put some skin in the game, and it wasn't life-changing skin in the game, it was just some skin in the game. Next thing you know, that person is a friend now. They want to send me messages. They want to communicate with me and that's fair. That is fair. If you're not willing to put some skin in your game, what can you really expect? But if you do put your hand to the plow, if you do put your money where your mouth is, if you do put some skin in the game, it's reasonable to expect some acceptance. You know, it's investing in good ground is where I want to go. And that's big in my mind right now, investing in good ground and being around the right type of soil.
And so here it is also, we get to a place that you have to value your time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you have to value your time. So when I get in a situation, and people call me all the time, and I welcome these phone calls, I welcome the opportunity to see if I can be helpful. But what I am not going to do is find out that I'm helpful, and you just want to keep finding out and keep finding out and keep finding out, and you never want to take action.
It's called suffering fools. And Lisa is playing at a level now where she can't afford to suffer fools. You can't afford to, because your time is too valuable for that.
And so you get to a place where you do have to get skin in the game. You in order to network with some of the people that I want to be with, I pay for those associations. I pay to participate in the BBC. I pay to participate
in travel.
Absolutely. I pay to travel. I pay to go to those clubs. I pay to be in those networks. I pay to play because I know that by association, everybody else is paid too. Yeah. And if people have paid for something, they're not just there to hang out and chit chat and pity pat. They're there.
Have clubs that cost so much to be a part of, or restaurants that cost so much more than others, because the only people that can go to these restaurants are people that can afford to go. Message.
Message. Yes. So so we want to level up, but sometimes we want to level up and we want to get into these better circles, and you want to find another network of people that you can learn from. But if you're not willing to invest in yourself, then you're going to keep the same group around. And unfortunately, if you're not in the right group, you'll find that your energy gets drained versus elevated.
Being the smartest person in the room for too long, you're not going to be able to elevate. You cannot rise. You've got to put yourself in a position where others know more
than you.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I would also, let me add to that. When we say invest in yourself or invest in others to be a part of a network, understand that you can get creative. See, the way things are set up is that, you may start thinking about just money, but it's really not just money. It's really what we call equity. What equity do you have to exchange, right? That could be a form of payment or a form of tribute to those who you honor. Give honor to whom honor is due, right? So you may have a skill or a talent that's much needed in the circle that you want to be in. Well, are you willing to offer that? See, some of us, we just, oh, I don't have the money, and you think like you don't have that, like that's like that's all you need. No, so you got other things that are much more valuable than money, by the way. You got things that could create something out of nothing, by the way. But will you use what you got? And it's not always money. That's important.
Lisa and I got booked for a really, really big event because we have a daily show. So we they wanted some money from us, but no. We traded an interview on our show in exchange for the money it took to be on their platform.
Right. We exchanged the value of our audience for the opportunity to be on their platform. So yes, that is absolutely a way to barter in a sense.
But most of the time, it's money.
Most of the time. So we're talking, but that's relationship capital, and that's very valuable because if I can connect to your network and that gives me an audience of another 1,000, 10,000, 5,000 people.
Yep.
How much is that? How much is that $100 worth versus that 1,000 people?
Exactly.
1,000 people. Give me the 1,000 because I can close. I mean, you're a salesman, I'm a closer. You know what I'm saying? You set them up, I knock them down. You know what I'm saying? So then you're like, well, wait a second. I need to get connected to that network, which comes with a vast array of people that are running the same race, just a little bit behind, that can utilize my services or buy my products or something like that as well.
Absolutely.
Miss Jacqueline making golden.
She's trying to get in.
Who is this?
Miss Jacqueline.
Yeah, your net worth is your network. she didn't know she on mute. I had to mute her because of that TV back there. Go ahead, Miss Jacqueline.
I have just been enjoying just listening to you all because everyone has some value that they are definitely leaving. And I hope the viewers tonight are catching on to all of these nuggets because these nuggets are super great. But what I'm reminded of is Super Agent Lisa. On one of her things, she talked about, now come on, we all need to understand free. How much can you really get for free? And so, you need to really be thinking about all of the free information. Now, I'm not saying don't get free information, of course, but there comes a point in a time where you're going to have to pay in order to really get the good stuff, get the meat, okay? So, free are like the straps, okay? But the meat is when you have to pay. So you got to pay. And so, listening to the young lady talk about fun, one of the things of my fun for my network is now I get to hang out with my sons. So I have 4 children, and the boys are the oldest. And so in 2016, I had a talk with my sons because I was ready to throw in the towel on the business, on a portion of it. And so I had a chat with them and I said, hey, this is where I am. And do you all want to be in the business with me? And so, I was so blessed when both of them said yes. One of them is like Evan, and one of them is like the gentleman there, who is the salesman, and Evan is the closer. Well, I have my oldest son, he's a salesman and a closer. And then the youngest son, he's an educational nerd, just like I am. And so being in business with those 2 guys are super great. It's very challenging to be in business with your family. And then also, it's a wonderful experience, and it was scary for me because what that meant was I had to be open and upfront with the business on every end, the financial end. And for people who know me, know I'm very personal and I hold everything really close. And if I share something with you, it's because I consider you a part of my inner circle. And so, I had to share everything with them and to be very transparent in where the business is financially. And I just thank God I haven't been in any financial trouble. You know, I thank God for that in everything. So they bring a balance to the business. And so now it's about us networking with people who know way more than what we know, in the direction that we are taking the business in. And I am a firm believer. If you are just what, the gentleman said, the Empire duo there, just what he said. If you smart, the smartest one in the room, then you need to find another room. So that's what we're doing. We're finding other rooms because we know that we're the smartest ones in the room. We know that we are the industry. We set the trend for this industry in the state of South Carolina. We know that we have competitors. Well, in our mind, we really don't have competitors. They see us as a competitor. We set the trends and basically they follow. It's been a super great experience. So we know that in us moving forward, we got to go in other rooms, and that's what we're doing. We go in other rooms. So that goes back to that investment. We are investing in ourselves. I'm investing in my sons, so that the business can be a legacy. The goal is that this will be left for my children, their children, and children on for 4 generations, just what the word of God has said. So that's what I'm leaving. I'm leaving a legacy for them. So I'm working hard to build this so that my kids and my grandkids don't have all of the struggles that I have had to endure. And plus, we're opening doors. It's a wonderful thing when you can have a team of people and you're helping to open doors for them. And so that's a great thing because we do have a team. It's not just us. We have a team, and it's a wonderful thing. And so it's about spreading all of that. So you got to know your network and you got to know your net worth, the people. If the people in your circle is not going in the same direction you're going in, then, you have to either leave them behind or they're going to drag you down. You can come back from them later when you get stronger, when you actually know where you're going. And not everyone is going to buy into what you're doing. So don't think everybody is for you and they're ready to do the rah rah with you, because that's not true. That goes for family and friends. My family didn't understand what I was doing, and nor was I really trying to share and trying to get them to buy into it. I knew the vision, and I knew I had to move forward to the vision. They didn't even know I had an online business for a long time, for a good little moment. Okay. So because I didn't share it. I mean, hey, and half the people didn't even know they were using my online platform at the time. And so, that's about just doing what you need to do. Okay. Invest in yourself. I can't say that enough, because truly that is where it is. Take the time to learn you, and then take the time to learn your business, and then take the time to create that vision, because I'm a firm believer in what the word says. The word says, if you write the vision, though it tarry, okay, someone is going to run with the vision. Trust me. The old saying is, build it and they will come. It is true. I built it and they will come. Okay. And it may be a trickle at first, but it's okay. You keep doing what you're doing and the masses will come. We're still we're still waiting on the massive. Okay. We haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg. We're still in the building phase. And yes, it's been 10 years. And I'm not scared that it's been 10 years. I'm hopeful. I'm thankful and I'm blessed for the 10 years.
And many more to come, man. Many more to come.
Many more to come. You know what, Evan? Most people begin to faint because they begin to look at the years and they keep thinking about, well, I'm not successful. Well, I have to ask people a question. What are you defining your success on? And who are you letting define success for you?
Absolutely.
I learned how to define my own success. I told my own self, and I still tell myself, I am successful. Because guess what? I'm much further than where my mom was. I'm much further than other family members who are entrepreneurs. And I got a lot of entrepreneurs in my family. So, Stop allowing people to define success for you. You define success for yourself, because there is enough cheese for all of us to eat.
Enough cheese for all of us. Everybody put a comment on define success for yourself, man. Define success for yourself. And I got a quick question for you. Thanks so much, Miss Jenkins. The birthday girl in the house, Miss Jenkins, man. Happy birthday.
I'm glad I'm celebrating my birthday. It's a celebrate day. I can't think of any other place I want to be than right here with Evan. Okay.
Look at it. She says, I got a new kind of fun. I got a new kind of fun. Talking about business and money and getting and leveling up. Hey, I got a question for the audience, man. I want you to think about right now, as we've been talking about, if you're the smartest person in the room, then it's time to find a room. Ask yourself this: are you the smartest person in the room? Are you the smartest person in the room? And the second question you want to ask yourself is, where is the new room? Where is the new room? Quite possibly that new room could be the Black Billionaires Club. You see quite a few people here that have already been already a part. And you're getting a little bit of a taste of what we do. And quite possibly this could be the new room for you. I want you to consider that. Think about that for a second. Are you the smartest person in the room? If so, where is your new room? It's time for you to level up. It's time for you to level up.
Level
up. Gotta level up.
Level up. Yeah, Evan, I want to say this. Look, I knew it was a time for me to find a new room when it came to investing. The picking was right and at the right time. Because I was asking different people about investing, and all I kept hearing people say, well, oh, it's so risky, you need to really be careful. And, but no one was really telling me how and where and how to get started. And so I want to share with those who are out there and you're not a part of the BBC, you want to be a part of the BBC, okay? Because that's your new room. When I learned how to invest, I found Evan. I left Greenville, South Carolina on a Saturday to go and meet in Atlanta. Didn't even know that it was the New Black Wall Street first meetup. I just knew that I had to be in the room. And I was in the room at the right time. And I want to say, being in that room taught me how to invest. Once again, I invest. Yeah, Evan's classes. I took many of his classes to learn how to invest. Yes, I listened to many of his broadcasts, learning how to invest. Because one thing I wanted to do, I wanted to take my girls along on the journey because they were the last at home. And I wanted to take them along on the journey in investing. Been investing for 4 years. One of the girls' investment account is about to double. 4 years investing, and then one girl account is not doing so great. But you know what? It's been a learning curve. It's been wonderful. My investment account is doing great. I'm just saying, dang, what took so doggone long? Stop waiting. Procrastination is the dream killer. And I can say that because I've spent many days procrastinating, waiting, waiting on someone to come and save me. When no one came to save me, I finally realized that I was my savior, and that God and Jesus Christ is the ultimate savior. But God was waiting on me to use the gifts that were in me to go and do what I needed to do to save myself. Save yourself. Stop waiting on someone else. Make the investment in you.
Invest.
I promise you won't miss those pennies.
Invest in yourself, man. Well, guys, man, this is the Business Development Mastermind, and we've been. You got a taste of quite a few people here. I just want you guys to just caption this picture that you see again. For us, it starts a lot with the visual. You're seeing the book, right? You're seeing the book on the shelf. Like, man, that looked like a good book, man. I got a brother that can help with marketing and science. I got another brother that can teach me how to sell and make more money. I got a sister that can help me get my story out. I got another sister that's gonna keep me healthy and wealthy, and I can keep my health in order, and teach me about gardens and nice, good food and all this stuff we should be eating, and nutrients and all that stuff. I got another sister gonna educate me for life. I mean, I'm gonna be a lifetime learner with this sister. So you get all of this on the cover of a book on your phone or on your laptop or on your computer. You got to ask yourself, is this the kind of room that I should be a part of? Is this the kind of room that I should be a part of? The Black Business Development Mastermind. Hopefully you got something out of tonight. Now, here's the deal, guys. We don't do this just to do this. We do this to make a difference. So in the comments below, I'd like for you to share what difference has tonight made for you? What have you learned? What's your takeaway? Question is, man, was this worth your time and why? Why do I ask that? Because time is the most valuable asset that you have. If you to spend an hour with us or 10 minutes, however long it's been, we want to make sure that you got value out of the time that you spent with us here tonight. So in the comments below, answer this question. Was this worth your time and why? Now, I know we talk much faster than you type. So as you guys are typing that stuff out, man, we're going to go around the room and get our final words from our guests on the panel here today. Man, we got the man of not many words, but impact himself, Mr. Damon Colden, man. Last words for the peeps before we close this show out.
Keep learning and keep applying what you learn. Stagnation is death.
See, not too many words, but powerful, man. Stagnation is death. Absolutely. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Man, what do you got to say for the people? We close this show out.
First of all, I have to say, just to keep it on the same lines as investing in yourself, part of that investment is in your health, both mental, physical, emotional. As we're all growing, don't forget to take care of yourself. It's very important. You might have all this wealth, but if you're not able to actually enjoy it, then what's the point? So
invest in your health. Your health is your wealth. The empowerment duo, Mr. Brian K. McNeil, Miss Lisa Santiago McNeil. Last word for the people before we close this show out.
Economic independence
through entrepreneurship
is empowerment.
Economic independence and entrepreneurship is empowerment, man. And the golden girl, Miss Jacqueline Mankins Golden. Happy birthday. Your final words for the piece tonight. Oh, shit. Let me unmute you. Go ahead. You got that TV on in the background. I had to keep muting you out.
I happen to agree with the young lady. Hey, your health is your wealth. You know, you got to take care of yourself in the process as you are building whatever it is that you are building. So learn to take care of you. Make an investment in you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially.
Absolutely. Invest in you, man. Mr. Benjamin Franklin also said the investment in education and knowledge is the best investment that you can make. And as It's Okay said, that you take that knowledge and apply it, it becomes wisdom. So knowledge in and of itself is not powerful at all. It is something to have and to hold, but it's what you do with what you know that really makes the difference. It's what you do with what you know that really makes the difference. Why have the certificate if you never use it? All the facts, all the certificates, not using it. How powerful is that? Just a talking point, but it's what you do with what you know that really makes the difference. Hey guys, here's the deal, man. As I mentioned to you, man, this has been sponsored and brought to you by the Black Billionaires Club. It is a club that we study wealthy people and we do what wealthy people do. And one of those things that wealthy people do is they mastermind. What you're seeing here today, they develop. They put an emphasis on education over entertainment. And if you're saying, man, I need a room like that where brothers and sisters who understand, who can get it, like you're trying to move forward, you're trying to start that new business, you have something that you want to do, and the people around you just don't seem to get it. Well, you want to get with people who get it. Well, go to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com. That's right, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Read through what you need to read through. Click on join the club, and then make a decision, a financial decision that can change your life forever. Right? You don't change overnight. You can change over time, though, but you begin that process right now. Absolutely, man. Hey, Vivian Reed said, man, so many options and possibilities. Charlene Mingle says, yes, I need a new room. My time is valuable and to invest in myself. Absolutely. Well, I want to say thank you so much to our guests here tonight. I tell you, it's not an easy thing to get 6 business owners, 6 people who are about that business together at one time for an hour. So I know how valuable it is, and know they could have been doing so many other things. But they wanted to take time to invest in you, and we thank them for that. Mr. Damon Tolden's been in the house. Miss Jacqueline Mankins Golden from Premier Online Education. Miss It's Okay. It's Okay. Miss It's Okay from Gardens for Life and Garden Variety in the house. And then the empowerment duo, the spectacular ones themselves, Mr. Brian and Miss Lisa McNeil. Thanks so much for being here. Hey guys, I want to say thanks so much for joining us here tonight, and I want you to remember this: that it takes a village, and it starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God that's more than enough. Till next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.